again. It's a redskin.
What's going on, everybody? It's the Bulls Show, aka Aidan, and welcome back to another video. Ladies and gentlemen, the Chicago Bulls had a media availability video that has come out recently on their YouTube channel and across all their social media platforms. So I fully encourage, before you get into this video specifically, to watch that video in advance to get your own information and your own takes and your own point of views before you come back to this video and we discuss some of the things that they've mentioned in that media availability video. The video obviously consists of Billy Donovan, Dalen Terry, and Arturas himself. They talk about a lot of things and we're going to get through a lot of it in this video. Before we get started, please like and subscribe to the Bulls Show. Turn notifications on and let me know in the comments below your thoughts about everything that's happened in relation to the interviews that have been given by the Chicago Bulls players, coaches, and of course executive. What do you think and how positive are you heading into next season because of some of the things that have been said? Your overall thoughts and opinions. So, first things first, obviously I will talk about Dalen Terry, our young rookie, ladies and gentlemen. So basically, he said a lot of things that, of course, tick the right boxes if you're a Chicago Bulls fan. I feel like it's very easy to win us over by words, and it all comes down to the actions that we see on the court, starting from the Summer League, heading into training camp, preseason, and of course, where it all starts, the regular season. Basically, he said he's been playing basketball ever since he was a kid. He loves basketball. He breathes basketball. He cries basketball. He said a lot of things about how passionate he is and how hard he works on the basketball court. And I think that's represented by how Billy Donovan and Arturas also spoke about him, calling him an energizer, the loudest person in the gym, one of the hardest working players you could find, stuff of that nature. Very, very interesting to see. And I think you can clearly understand that the Bulls have been scouting this guy for a long time. I don't think you can come up with those solutions without scouting this guy for quite a long time. And obviously, they found the player that they believe can best suit the Chicago Bulls. Maybe not necessarily the best player available at the 18th overall pick, but maybe he's the best suited player that they could find with that 18th overall pick with the Chicago Bulls. Who really knows? But it's clear that they spoke very highly about him. And obviously, he's speaking very highly about the Chicago Bulls organization as well, saying that there's no reason why he wouldn't want to be here, who wouldn't want to be here, stuff like that. He's done some good research on our coaching staff and the players that we have, and he's trying to find the best way to fit the Chicago Bulls. Something that Billy Donovan praised about him is that he's trying to find a way where he can fit and belong in order to win. Not necessarily trying to find all the stats available for him so he can really impress other teams around the NBA and say, look, I could be the rookie of the year or something like that. Of course, that could potentially happen. We'll have to wait and see. But he's more looking at finding a system, finding a place where he can come in, make an instant impact, and find ways to win with the Chicago Bulls, which is very, very important. Now we're going to get started with Zach LaVine, ladies and gentlemen. Now, of course, there's not going to be much interviews that go by without Zach LaVine's name being mentioned with the Chicago Bulls. Obviously, the question was, is this Bulls front office confident that they can bring in Zach LaVine? Will they offer him a 5-year deal? Now, they didn't specify 5 years with the answer, but they did say they're very confident they're going to bring Zach LaVine back to the Chicago Bulls and they want him to be here for a long time. So, in all honesty, I think we all know that Zach LaVine is probably going to get the max contract and will probably get his 5 years that will bring him into this team for a long time, like they said. So there's no questions that I think they're going to be offering that max deal and those 5 years, but they didn't specify specifically, and I think that's obviously a smart decision because maybe there is something going on behind the scenes that allows us to get him for less money or less years. Who really knows? But I think Zach LaVine's going to get exactly what he's expected to get in relation to free agency, but that's good to see. Moving into the Summer League, ladies and gentlemen, obviously there was talks about Dalen Terry playing in the Summer League, which was very, very important. But just a little bit of a news announcement, Ayo Dosunmu and Patrick Williams are both in Vegas, I believe, ladies and gentlemen, are both in and around the Summer League team, but will not be participating in the Summer League games. They will be training around with some of the squad members there, but it doesn't look like they're going to be playing any games for the Summer League. Obviously, I'd love to see Ayo Dosunmu play, and I'm pretty sure he said towards the end of the season that he's ready for the Summer League. He's going to be training for the Summer League. But again, I guess it's the Bulls' decision. They want to keep Ayo Dosunmu ready for the regular season and stuff like that. That's fine by me. I don't think the Summer League is the most important thing in the world. It is a big step for rookies and second-year players, of course, but Ayo's developed so much already. I think we can see further development, even if it's in the preseason or with the regular season as well. There's no need to rush Ayo into anything if they feel like it's not necessarily important or necessary. So we'll wait and see. But doesn't look like Patrick Williams or Ayo Dosunmu will be playing in the Summer League. Moving into the next news story, ladies and gentlemen, talking about Tony Bradley. Very interesting here. Tony Bradley has not actually given his answer in terms of the player option that he has for the Chicago Bulls to the Bulls management team. Now, I expect Tony Bradley to accept his deal, to be honest. At this point in time, especially where there's not necessarily a backup center, I feel like he's probably going to accept that player option, which means Tony Bradley will most likely be here next year in my eyes. But of course, if he declines that player option, he will be an unrestricted free agent, and therefore, I guess that means he can go to any other team. And look, I would love Tony Bradley as a third choice center. I don't see him as a backup center. I think that experiment didn't necessarily work out well. Obviously, he did have a few injuries that came at the beginning of the season that probably affected that. But as a third choice center, I don't think you could go wrong with Tony Bradley whatsoever. I think he's one of the better third choice centers you could ask for in relation to the NBA. So hopefully he can stay on this team. I don't really want him to leave, but at the end of the day, it's not the worst thing in the world if he does leave the Chicago Bulls. Next up, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be talking about some of the qualifying offers that the Chicago Bulls do have to make a decision on in relation to some of our players. Now, the two players that we'll be talking about in relation to this is obviously Tyler Cook and Malcolm Hill. Now, if I had to make a prediction as of this point in time, I think we're going to extend a qualifying offer to Tyler Cook, and we're probably not going to extend, a qualifying offer to Malcolm Hill. The reason why I think this is obviously Malcolm Hill came in the middle of the season. I think we're desperate for players at that point. Too many injuries, too many people out from the virus and stuff of that nature. Malcolm Hill had a great game against the Chicago Bulls when he was on the Atlanta Hawks 10-day contract, and obviously we brought him in for a year. He did some good things, but most of the time was not played, and sometimes he was a bit disappointing on the court as well. I do feel like his time is up as a Chicago Bull, but if it isn't, hopefully he has that chance to prove himself once again. But I just don't think he's going to be in, I guess, the view of the Chicago Bulls in terms of a qualifying offer and a restricted free agent as well. But when it comes to Tyler Cook, I think at the end of the day, he showed glimpses of what he can do. I think with more development and more focus, I think he could do very well at the NBA level. I think he has the physical tools to do it. He's a very strong character, very built, could play as the power forward and a center position. Could be a very decent option for us in case of any injuries, or maybe if we want to go small ball, he could help us in that way as well. But ultimately, I think he's a two-way contract type of player. I think he belongs in the G League with more development, and I think he can come in here and there to impact the Chicago Bulls team as well. I think Tyler Cook, I would like to see Tyler Cook get another chance on this team. I wouldn't necessarily say the same at this point about Malcolm Hill, but only time will tell in terms of this situation. Talking about Kobe White next, ladies and gentlemen. Kobe White is a very interesting topic. Basically, Billy Donovan praised Kobe White for how he was able to handle himself despite a lot of the situations that he was put under. Talking about how sometimes he was starting, sometimes he was coming off the bench, sometimes he was on ball, sometimes he was off ball. He had so many roles, so many different rotations, so many, uncertainties towards his NBA career last year. Billy Donovan praised Kobe White a lot. He didn't necessarily praise his defense whatsoever. When he was talking about him and AK talking about versatility, talking about guys playing 1 through 4, playing multiple positions. He didn't necessarily mention Kobe White, which I think is a good thing, because if he did mention Kobe White, I think a lot of people would have realized that that's just incorrect. Kobe White's not a player that can play through multiple positions on the defensive end, but he did praise Kobe White for how he handled himself in that situation, which, to be honest, I fully expect the Bulls front office and Billy Donovan to praise Kobe White, because he was one of those guys that went through multiple positions last season. We'll wait and see what his future will be in terms of the Chicago Bulls, but I am happy that they gave him some sort of praise in this media press conference. And of course, the last thing I want to talk about is how Billy Donovan stated that AK is going to build, or is building, a versatile team. And I've started to notice this myself a little bit with some of the players that we're bringing in. Obviously, you've got Lonzo Ball, who hopefully will be healthy at the start of the season. He's very versatile, can play off ball, can play on ball, can switch on defense, can play multiple defenders. Alex Caruso as well, someone that they specifically said plays 1 through 4 for the Chicago Bulls. Patrick Williams is another guy, very, very versatile, can play multiple of the forward positions, has some ball handling responsibilities as well. Then you move off into the bench. Ayo Dosunmu, someone that can play multiple positions. And even Javonte Green is someone I think could play multiple positions on the defensive end. Obviously, Dalen Terry, someone that they think could fit right into that system and play multiple positions. It seems like that's what we're going for as a Chicago Bulls team. A team that's very versatile, a team that can play multiple positions, a team that can switch. All of these things are things that I think are strong targets for the Chicago Bulls, which I think is a good thing, obviously. I think versatility is key. I think if you have multiple players that can do multiple things, it's going to be very important. You have different ways of coaching these types of players as well. So it's a big season next year, in my opinion, especially for Billy Donovan. He's going to have a big year. If he's going to impress the Chicago Bulls team, I think this is the year to do it. Obviously, Dalen Terry is going to have a system where he's put right into place, and hopefully he can succeed. And you've got a lot of other players that are going to be very versatile, and you've got some developing players as well that hopefully will be taking the next step. So that's it in relation to the press conference that the Chicago Bulls gave today. If I missed anything, feel free to let me know in the comments below. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe if you're new. I'll see you in another Chicago Bulls video. Ladies and gentlemen, have a wonderful and safe day. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay tuned for more. Take care.